Hello, everybody. So this has to be the most unique keynote address I've ever given in my life. I know we were going to do this live on March 11th in Bonn, and I was really looking forward to getting back to Bonn after not having visited for so many years. And thanks to Dirk Bachhoven, I was going to be offered that opportunity. I was in Germany that week, and unfortunately, I had to turn around from Munich because I was told that we all have to get back home because we wouldn't be allowed back. And I know that we had to unfortunately cancel the event. So first of all, thank you, Dirk. Thank you, the Cyber Forum in Germany, for hosting this virtual keynote. Let me start off by talking about why we're here. We're here to talk about cybersecurity. Now, I'm new to cybersecurity. I came to cybersecurity approximately 2 years ago, and I'd spent majority of my life partly in telecom, partly in the internet at Google, partly investing in internet companies, and I'd really not spent much time thinking about cybersecurity. It's kind of like one of those things you expect it just happens because we have so many smart people making sure that we're protected. And as I spent time thinking about it and understanding the industry, I realized 2 years ago that we had a model that needed to change. And what needed to change? I realized that many of our customers had more cybersecurity solutions than they had IT solutions, which is always an interesting sign. And the challenge was, the more and more I went to talk to people, the more they told me that they see a proliferation of security solutions, they don't feel any more safe. And that's a problem. And as an industry, if our objective is to protect our customers so that they can go about running their businesses in the most efficient fashion, it's important that when they deploy our products and services, they feel safer than they felt the prior day. And with that insight, with that thought in mind, I began to investigate, with the help of many of my colleagues and many of our customers, what is the problem? Why are we where we are? And if you trace it back, cybersecurity has been bought like we bought information technology. And the idea was redundancy was important. So we went and bought two of the same kind. We went and bought two sets of firewalls. We went and bought two sets of IPSs. We went and bought a bunch of endpoints. Now the challenge, as you know, is there's no industry standards across these things, because if you open them up too much, then it gives a perfect opportunity for bad actors to go interface with our capabilities. So what we have is we have a smorgasbord of cybersecurity solutions across our customers, which have been bought for the right reasons, because they were really good at solving a problem. And then, because our customer estates are so varied and so different, we built a whole series of policy frameworks allowing our customers to deploy hygiene and set their own policies to understand what was okay and what was not okay. And I know I'm exaggerating it a little bit, and it's exactly not like that, but it's close enough. And the point there, though, is that with the proliferation with so many cybersecurity vendors and so many different policies and so many alerting mechanisms, the more cybersecurity we deploy, the more we shift the burden on the customer, where the customer has to then go back and figure out what policy caused what alert, how do I remediate the alert, and how do I go through this mountain of alerts at any point in time to be able to figure out how to solve my problem. I know you guys know this already. Well, this is what I learned. So the question became, how do you solve this problem? How do you set yourself on a path to solve this problem? And we spent a lot of time thinking about it. As you can probably imagine, there's approximately 10 years of IT and security plant or install base out there. And over 10 years, it's highly likely that we've got about $1 trillion of cybersecurity embedded across the world, across various government installations, across various customers, small, medium, and large. And that's a large install base where we have to try and solve this intractable problem of too much fragmentation, not enough platformization. Not only that, we also have to think about, where do we go in the future? And if you think about the future and say, okay, great, it's very hard to go fix the challenges that we have created in the past. How do we think about the future? How do we think about what is needed for the future? Well, we thought about it, and you start that conversation with the trends in the world. And as we have seen, we're in the midst of an unprecedented, that word's being used too often, but we are in the midst of an unprecedented event, a global pandemic, which was something nobody had ever thought of. What the pandemic has brought to light is that because of the need for social distancing, because of the need for being able to work remotely, we are over-reliant on technology. We're over-reliant on networking. We're over-reliant on technology, We're over-reliant on being able to interface with our customers using technology, with our employees, with our suppliers. Technology has taken center stage. Not that it already wasn't, but it has even become more focal in the current environment that we're in. And that's a trend which I think is not going to go away. We are going to get more and more engaged, embedded. We're going to become a company which has a country or sort of a business or businesses where technology is an integral part of everything that we do. And if that begins to happen, the question is, what are the trends that are forcing these events, and what are the trends that we expect in the next 5 to 10 years? I think, without any doubt, many of you will agree that first and foremost, the public cloud is here to stay. And I know that there are lots of institutions which feel that that trend may take a little longer. A lot of institutions feel that they want to control the outcome and hence control the data. But I just think the economics and the capabilities that public cloud offers over time will win. And it's going to encourage more and more businesses to start making the public cloud a part of their overall data strategy or data center strategy. I'm not suggesting we will all move en masse 100% there, but at the same time, I think we will all have some part of our business being conducted in the public cloud or in perhaps the Salesforce cloud or the Workday cloud or the PaloAlto Networks cloud. So there will always be some sort of applications that you're using which are leveraging the public cloud in some way, shape, or form. So I think that's here to stay. So if you hold that at one end and say there's a trend that we're going to be going towards the public cloud, well, what else do we have? Well, we've all heard about this proliferation of the notion of data. Data is the new gold. Everybody's focused on being able to look at data and being able to leverage data for whatever we'd like to do with it. Now, whether it's the conversations around social media and data, whether it's the conversations around location data, whether it's the conversations around health data, allowing us to come up with better outcomes from a healthcare perspective, or it's data that is used for security. So we think there is another trend, which is this notion where it's easy to collect data, it's easy to amass data, put it together, and be able to analyze it to get to a better outcome. So hold that thought. We have cloud, we have AI, ML, and data. And I think the third trend is because we are becoming so reliant on technology, security is going to continue to become more and more mainstream, right? It's no longer sort of a hobby, it's actually become a profession. Cyber hacking, cybersecurity has become serious, and we have to take it very seriously because now it is part of the risk management requirement for any audit, any board, any risk manager, any CEO in the world. So with those trends in mind, I sat down with my colleagues at PaloAlto Networks and said, where do we need to go? Where is the world going? And we decided that it's going to be very hard to fix the fragmentation that exists in the world today in one fell swoop. We would have to come up with a long-term strategy that allows for the fragmentation to reduce over time to be able to give our customers a better security outcome. So how do you do that? Well, you do both transformational things and you do incremental things. On the incremental things, one of the things that our founder Nir Zook had done with his colleagues is built the world's best next-generation firewall. It is still the best next-generation firewall. Last week, Forrester rated us #1 in their introductory wave for firewalls. So we feel comfortable that we have a product which is still industry-leading and provides the perfect solution for our customers. What's been interesting is, as you know, in security, because of the nature of security, customers have been reluctant to share any data coming out of their security devices. So what we did was, the incremental improvements we're making is we're turning on telemetry in our products. Telemetry to be able to make better improvements to our products and to be able to help our customers. That's one thing we're doing incrementally. The second thing we're doing incrementally is applying a software-first approach to our products. If you think about it, the hardware approach requires embedded software. Hardware ships. It's very hard to upgrade remote hardware. And the world is moving to software. You can do incremental improvements in software. You can release code every day. When I was at Google, we could release code every 15 minutes if you wanted, and we can do A/B testing across the entire customer base. You can't do that with hardware. So it's very important to become a software-first business, and that's what is the incremental improvement. We're turning on telemetry. We're turning on software as a key differentiator to build a cybersecurity solution, but that's only part of it. What else can you do? So our approach on the current infrastructure of the customer is, let's figure out ways where we can help customers consolidate their vendors in their data center. So today, our firewalls, when I came to PaloAlto, used to do 4 additional things using software. We did threat prevention, we did URL filtering, we did malware, and we did VPNs with Global Protect. in the last 2 years. We have deployed 4 new software-based services. Today, our firewalls can do IoT security. You don't need a new device. You don't need a new interface. You don't need new software. You just need to make sure the PaloAlto network's firewall collects the data. We can tell you what other rogue devices are there in your network or what other IoT devices are in your network, and you're able to take those and be able to protect yourself without introducing new hardware into your infrastructure. We can do SD-WAN of our firewalls. We can do DLP of our firewalls. We can do DNS security of our firewalls. So we've taken the approach that if you have, as a customer, has trusted a cybersecurity partner to deploy a piece of hardware in your infrastructure, we can then take that and create more capability around it and put in there multiple software capabilities which do not require you to put new implementation in there and deploy new capabilities using more hardware. We can also take telemetry from those and give you a status now of whether you're using it to the best of its design. Because part of the challenges we all know is we need so many professionals from cybersecurity who understand how to deploy products, because the products are getting more complex, because you need to do a lot of configuration, a lot of management. So we're taking that task away because we think many times our customers end up in a poor security posture, not because they didn't buy the right thing, because they didn't implement it fully to its full capabilities. It's like buying a lock and not using it. So that's what we want to do on the core side. But we also said we have to make sure we leverage this transformation of the cloud and try a new approach of delivering a platform for the cloud as opposed to fragmented solutions. We also said, let's make sure we are at the forefront of the next trend, which is around AI and ML. So on the cloud front, 2 years ago, we had one small foray in the cloud called Evident, which used to do AWS workload security. We decided that workload security was important. We acquired another company called Redlock. And so, okay, that's no different. Many cybersecurity companies in the world have acquired many software solutions, and they ended up with a smorgasbord of random pieces of cybersecurity solves which still don't work together. We set out a principle. We are not going to do acquisitions if they're not best of breed. We're going to buy the best that's out there because that is the best product market fit for our customers. We also set another principle that when we acquire something that's best of breed, we have to make sure there is integration. Without integration, we're again leaving the integration problem on the customer, and we are much better positioned to integrate multiple solutions at our own end. So we took serverless security, we took container security, we took workload security, we put them all together. We used one agent. There's one agent that is needed for cloud security. Subsequent to which, we're adding 4 more modules, which will be delivered shortly to our customers, which can do IAM management for the cloud, which can do DLP for the cloud, which can do WAF, RASP for the cloud. So we can do microsegmentation for the cloud, all using the same platform, the same agent, and using a sort of a consumption-based go-to-market model, which allows the customers to deploy it and then choose based on their need and the time when they want to deploy it. So now we have effectively what we think the beginning of a cloud security platform. Now, cloud security is not going to cloud, is just not about securing the public cloud. It's also, of course, about securing SaaS applications. It's also about changing a network topology to be able to get to the cloud in a more efficient way, as opposed to, but if you're telecom people, you don't need to use MPLS. You can use SD-WAN. But that's a new topology for cloud access. So what we've also done in combination with Prisma Cloud, we have a product called Prisma Access. What Prisma Access does is takes the firewall code up into the cloud, and now you're running your access through a firewall in the cloud, so you don't have to go back to your data center. You can go to your public applications on your SaaS applications. You can go into your public cloud directly from source, whether it's a branch or an employee. So we made the bet that cloud is here to stay. In that context, we have to make sure, instead of providing slivers of products for our customers, we have to provide a platform. So our Prisma Access product is fully SASE, which is a new Gartner term, which I've learned, which has SD-WAN capability, which has security in it, which has secure access in it, which has DLP in it, and which has SaaS integrated into it. At the same time, we have Prisma Cloud Security, which we believe there are not enough competitors out there. We have 1,500 customers using cloud security now, where we had none 18 months ago. We have 43 of the Fortune 100 using that Prisma Cloud Security platform, because that is where we believe the world is going from a cloud security perspective. And we think over time, it also helps you in your on-prem situation when deploying containers. It also helps you in the SaaS-based solution. So that's an important area that we're progressing. And last but not the least, we're really focused on this notion of data, analyzing anomalous behavior, because we believe our vision is that in the future, you need the self-healing SOC. sort of we live in Silicon Valley, so we get inspired by Elon Musk and his autonomous car. We kind of want to have the autonomous SOC. And the way you get to an autonomous SOC is you take away the need for the customers to do a lot of work. You take away that by understanding data, analyzing it, cross-correlating it across multiple customers, understanding how people should react in bad actor situations, and be able to remediate that without requiring too much human intervention. Now, sounds easy. The problem is hard because we have a multitude of cybersecurity solutions which are deployed in all of our infrastructures where the data doesn't talk to each other. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to normalize the data. So if you can't normalize data, you can't analyze the data. So what we've done is we've deployed a product called Cortex Xtr, which most recently beat CrowdStrike in the MITRE results. And the whole notion of the XDR product is that you deploy our endpoint, it does endpoint protection, it also collects the best and most amount of data from the endpoint. Then it can cross-correlate that data with your firewall data. It can cross-correlate your data with other sources of data to start eliminating the noise and give you signal. You get that signal into your SOC. You're able to now understand what are real events, possibly, and what are spurious events. Whatever are real events which you believe you can automate, use our SOAR, our security orchestration and remediation tool. You automate them away so you continue to reduce the noise around your signals. We want to get the signal down to a few signals a day or a week for our customers. So now the customers are really focused on security incidents that they can solve. So our focus is to eliminate the amount of alerts at source, to eliminate the amount of alerts at destination. When we can eliminate all of those, we can get down to pure signal, and that allows us to continue on this journey of trying to build the autonomous SOC. So that, in a nutshell, is our approach to cybersecurity. We think cybersecurity will be solved in the long term by a series of platforms which provide best-of-breed solutions and good integration, because the current solution where we have too much fragmentation, we have security solutions that don't talk to each other, puts the entire burden on the customer. And that's not the right way to solve cybersecurity, because now you're leaving the customer at the wrong end, having to find people to integrate this stuff, having to find people to understand what's the best way to deploy these things, what's the right security posture. So we need to take on that responsibility as the industry to create more automation, to create more simplicity, and to provide our customers the best security solutions. So that's what we're trying to do. It's been 2 years. It's been a very rewarding journey. We have a long way to go. There are still things we're working on as a company, but I can see that our strategy is resonating with our customers. We have deployed a lot of our customers using Prisma Access. I gave you some highlights around Prisma Cloud. We have seen similar success in our security automation product around XSOAR. We've seen similar success in our XDR product. And of course, we continue to see our customers, both existing customers and new customers, deploying more and more Palo network firewalls. I wish I could be there personally to hear you all get so excited about the solutions we're offering, but I'm just going to have to do this virtually. I just want to once again thank Dirk for inviting me for this virtual keynote. I also want to thank the Cyber Tech Summit in Europe for their virtual hospitality. And I wish all of you good luck, and I hope you all stay safe and you stay healthy. Thank you.